Hello everyone. Today I want to update you on a few things that are related to this YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Susan Morales and I talk about the Christian worldview, what it means to follow Jesus in an everyday kind of way, as in topics that are related to just the normal parts of our life, and as well as I want to encourage you to be very mindful about your relationship with God every day, not just on Sundays or on Easter every year. So I wanted to share a personal life update as it relates to a family loved one that I've mentioned some places of my social media or on this channel. I'll cover that last on this video for anyone that's interested. But I did want to start with, I have like 3 things I want to talk about updating. The first one, the most relevant, if you watched yesterday's video, I was discussing a video between the topic of Benny Hinn, who is considered a past, or some claim present, prosperity gospel preacher, someone that asks for money, uses the Bible to encourage people to give to him, and so I watched a video of Dr. Michael Brown clarifying his position on Benny Hinn and bringing up the YouTuber Mike Winger, how he came out with a 4-hour video showing different clips of like decades of Benny Hinn. And I did start watching the video yesterday. So in the beginning he talks about how he wants to convince everyone pretty much that Benny Hinn is a bad guy, and that he would provide the evidence for that claim in his video. I stopped watching after a little while, just because maybe I'm not in the right season of my life, where I'm at right now. I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of things, in-house things in the Christian world, that I'm not interested. I think they're I'm not saying that this is the thing about the video that I'm talking about, but like other things that I'm thinking about. Like I've noticed myself just thinking like even like world politics, it's like I feel like, wow, like this is just so not as important as it's coming across, or I just feel like when you're going through something very scary in your life, it changes your perspective on things, and I think a lot of your energy is just going towards that, and you're just trying to, I call it, you're just trying to survive in your life. You're just trying to live, you're just trying to make sure you wash the dishes. You're just trying to make sure you're feeding your little human beings in your home. You're just trying to take care of yourself, and that all the other things, it's like I don't really have the interest, the energy to actually just care, or invest my emotions to it, be angry about it. So I stopped watching it, whereas maybe a few years ago I would have completely consumed the whole 4 hours one day, right? And just probably shared it and made a video talking about all those things. But I'm just not, I don't know if it's that, but probably also when you listen to a lot of people online, it's a trip because I want to say that it can bring up a lot of questions, uncomfortable questions in your walk with God. Like how if you study Christian apologetics books, that can stir up perhaps some maybe doubts or questions. It gets you thinking on things that maybe you wouldn't really have invested time into your day to think about if not for that book you read or that video you watched. And the same thing goes with theology books, videos. So like for example, just watching all the bad things that Benny Hinn has done allegedly, watching hours of that, hearing about it, it kind of forces me to rewind to that time in my life when I was there, and the journey that I went through, like as a Christian online. Like I was presented critiques against prosperity gospel preachers like Joel Osteen and Benny Hinn and etc. By a Calvinist pastor, and so the resources that a Calvinist pastor is going to present to you are like, so it was just a confusing journey for me, because this is what I want to talk about, like about discernment. You have to have discernment as a Christian. You have to have discernment as a person, even non-Christians. You have to discern, am I about to get scammed here? Do I have good reasons to, that support my worldview? Because I think most of us want to live in the truth, and we don't want to just live in our fantasy world here. That would make you kind of a little out of it, right? A little crazy. You should want to care that you believe true things, and the same is true about theology. So when you are listening to someone, for example, like you're listening to me, you need to be aware about where I'm coming from, and I do my best to let you know, where I'm coming from. There's a man that rides a bicycle with a parrot like around my neighborhood. He just rode by. I do my best to let you know. That's why I'm even making this video, because I want you to be aware of this dynamic that you can experience in your walk with Jesus. So if I am talking about how God, whatever topic that I'm talking to you about, there's a certain category that within Christianity that it falls under, and that I'm bringing to you, and I am presenting to you Christianity under this umbrella. Like I'm offering you Jesus, right? The gospel. But in addition to that, I'm also bringing different interpretations, what I believe according to the Bible. I'm bringing that to you. So it was a difficult journey when I was learning about the prosperity gospel, about what was wrong with what Benny Hinn was doing as far as the money component, because the Christians that were telling me about that, well, they were also presenting Christianity, the correct gospel, the correct Christian view is also that they're like, some of them would fall under cessationism as opposed to continuationists. I think that's what it's called, the two categories. So some people were criticizing Benny Hinn not just because of the money manipulation or misuse of the Bible to get people to give to him specific amounts, large amounts. That's something I don't want to forget what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cessationism and Benny Hinn. Remind me. Benny Hinn? Benny Hinn. And I forgot the other thing I was going to talk about. Yeah, in my video, I said, I don't feel like a victim because I would give small amounts because I was like a poor youth when I was donating to him. But then, having listened to some of the criticism in that video, here and there, yeah, it's different when you think about like the large amounts that he and other people have wrongly asked for and said, if you give $500, $500, I might feel like a victim if I did give that certain amount. Like, I can't imagine right now as a mom, as a wife, I can't imagine giving $500 and to find out that what he was teaching was wrong. I would be pretty upset. But some of the people that were criticizing Benny Hinn on the documentary I saw was or people that believed that even the miracles that people claimed to be experiencing in Benny Hinn's crusades, that they can't happen. That's the other thing. Certain Christians who fall under the umbrella of Calvinism, they will interpret like when these miracles like happened and like they were already like predestined, and so some of those reformed, another word for like Calvinist, reformed cessationists would say, well, they're not miracles. Like I saw a video, someone's claiming that God doesn't do miracles anymore. He does. I forgot how else he phrased it, and I just remember thinking, oh, it's kind of the same thing. But it was interesting how he was trying to differentiate, and at the time I didn't realize where he was coming from. I never knew about the term cessationism and continuationist. I never knew about someone like Dr. Michael Brown. I knew that they criticized him very, very strongly, and that they kind of made him seem like guilt by association. Like, you don't even want him on your podcast because then people are going to label you as, ooh, you're, him, you're friends with him. So I didn't know that there was someone that believed in miracles like Benny Hinn that was criticizing the bad stuff that those people were doing on, for example, TBN, all those asking for specific amounts and pushing, really trying to get people to give to them. So I've been thinking a lot about if it's good or not, for Christians to give, and especially in the time that we live in with Christian platforms, YouTube. You have so many options as a YouTuber. For example, if you're on X, you can do all kinds of things too. So it's like, when I saw Mike Winger's video, I'm just kind of realizing, there are a lot of videos about topics. He's he's probably one of the smartest YouTubers and the Christian content creators that I would say. He really has studied his stuff on like YouTube, and so for me it can come across like, are successful YouTubers, Christian YouTubers, are you really doing it just for the money? Even if you say that you're doing it because you're being called, but are you truly like Discernment Ministries online YouTubers? Are you really in it for money? If you weren't getting paid, would you still do it? And so I mentioned him in the other video. Someone asked me in the comments in that video if I was implying that Mike Winger was just making that video in order to for the money, and I didn't imply that. I wasn't claiming that. And I did want to get to the bottom of it though, because I don't know, it's to me it would be wrong for any successful Christian YouTube channel to just like, it would be like, you'd be a hypocrite if you're talking about how greedy these prosperity gospel preachers are, and yet here you are being greedy and trying to get rich off of condemning these guys. And so I did reach out to him, and he responded. I noticed his response like after my video had gone live. So if I would have received a response before, I would have mentioned it in the video so that it didn't come across like I was saying that that's what Mike Winger was doing. And if you're interested in reading his response, I left it in the comment section in that video, yesterday's video. I thought I'm someone that will take your word on something, unless you have a pattern of like lying, in the past. So I have no reason to doubt that Mike Winger is someone that is trying to do the right thing, like trying his best to not become like one of those greedy Christians, money wise. And so I let him know, that I'm proud of the way he's going about doing that. He gave good details and yeah, like I said, if you're interested, you could go read that over there. That was one of the things I wanted to update you guys on. I wanted to make sure that I was clear about that. The other thing was that I noticed that I had said that I was going to do a book club. I think it was on February. I'm so sorry guys if you were waiting for that. I'm sorry. I will do it. I will do it, because I want to be someone that keeps my word, and yeah, life has been tough, but still things are slowing down a little bit, so I'll make time for that. We're going to be reading a book where prayer becomes real. We're going to read that. Sorry for the noise. And then what was the other thing I wanted to update you on? I think those were the things. I'll just mention my family's situation. I mentioned months ago that my dad had been given a diagnosis, and so the last months he's been having chemo and radiation, and today is his last appointment. We're actually getting ready right now to go and meet him up, because he's going to, they have them like ring a bell after their last appointment and people clap, and we're going to go show him some support. And I did want to ask for prayer. Just gonna wait for that car to go by. If you can pray that, assuming it's God's will, if you can pray that God will make it so that it's not necessary for my dad to have to undergo a surgery. That would happen like months from now, but we want to believe that God will have worked through everything that he's gone through, and that that it won't be necessary, and that you will pray for him to be encouraged, to have hope, for God to strengthen him. Like, we're humans, right? So we need to be strengthened physically, emotionally, mentally, like all those things. So, and that God would give us, his family, wisdom as to how to continue to support him, to help us to live our lives with this very difficult thing that's in our heart. So those are the things I wanted to ask for prayer, and I appreciate it. And I know that some of you do pray, even if it's just one of you. I can feel it when you guys pray. Like, I feel encouraged all of a sudden. So thank you very much for those of you that are going to pray. If I remember something else that I wanted to update you guys, I guess I'll leave it for the next video. But yeah, that's about all that I have for this video. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you guys.